Hello, my name's Anthony Barajas, aka Tony Vida, which is what appears on my short films. And I've dealt with production ever since the 90s. I've helped produce and I've helped friends do their short films and make their short films, and friends that were from college. And but getting down to the role of being a lead, I believe that has to come naturally. It's not something you learn in textbooks or anything that you learn in college. One example of that is my first job, which was Texas Instruments. Uh, I worked for a contracting company and I was doing work for them outside in other states. And they picked up a contract that was for Texas Instruments. And that is like over 2 million square feet. You're talking about different buildings that are around the Metroplex, and somewhere 500,000, somewhere a million feet. And I was dealing with constantly having to drive to all these places in one day, every day for 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. Because when you're a manager, you're a lead. I believe very strongly that you are hired for 24/7. Um, but when I took over this job, the contracting people that were there were supposed to show me the ropes. They were supposed to show me a tour of everything that they did. Well, they just held out their hand and they said, "Good luck." So I didn't know anything of all this square footage and all these buildings that we had to take over. So I'm sitting before a crew of 55 people. The other 50 people were off, but I had to get them to work. And we're talking about electrical, maintenance, janitorial. Um, all these crews had to be put to work. They all had projects to do. And we were given a list of those projects to do. But when the contracting people took off, they took all their materials with them. They took everything. So, but they had said that they were going to help us in that regard. But they took off and they took all the equipment, they took everything for there to be a smooth transition. So I'm busy having to deal with this and having to direct people um, to do their jobs, different crews in different departments. So I'm calling home office and I'm saying, we need to get the trucks out here now. Everything went smooth, everything went good. I had to deal with CEOs there at Texas Instruments because it is the home office of Texas Instruments um, on 635. They're all over that place at the Mixmaster. And uh, they had projects, they had deadlines. I had to give charts, I had to give pie charts. What I'm trying to say with this is that I had to deal with deadlines. I had to deal with huge crews, huge amount of people, and I had to deal with the top guys in the company. Um, you can't show that you're nervous when you're doing this. You can't show that you're shaking when you're doing this. You just have to go in and take the lead. That has helped me as a director also in showing uh, people uh, how to move with the actors, the actors, how they should be, how they should their roles being placed in front of the camera. Having to deal with the crews, which the biggest crew I ever had was 25 people, and and you have deadlines. You got permits, you got everything that you have to deal with as far as deadlines and shooting a certain time and being out of there. So you can't show that you're nervous. And that's, I think, to me, that's important. It's also important to adjust. It's like Epic Productions has a certain system. I would have to adjust to that if hired. And that's the one thing that because of my experience, I'm able to do like fast. Um, like I said, I don't have a film degree, but I've been in the trenches. and I know production and everything that's in production. I sent you a short film, a rough cut of a short film that I did, and I'm under Tony Vida. And right now, I didn't like the cut, and I'm having it. I'm still have it in post, and I'm making it look like 1930s and giving it a visceral, mean look, almost like a Raging Bull look when Jake LaMotta is fighting Sugar Ray Robinson in the ring, and you see the smoke, and you see you hear those little bitty sound effects in the background that sounds like a beast. Anyways, I'm going off the wall here, but I have it in post. So what you're going to look at is a rough cut of what I sent you. But just know that I've dealt with large crews, I've dealt with small crews, and when you get in there, you have to just start taking the lead. And I hope I get the job. If you don't, you know, oh well. Best of luck. Thanks a bunch.